Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Hard Choice. Simple steps for showing up. My name is Brad Draper. I am your host. I'm a little congested, can you tell? Took an allergy pill this morning. Man, it's getting after me. We went up to Idaho this last weekend to go visit my father-in-law and stepmother-in-law for a belated Father's Day gift. And we'll get into that in a moment. However, I saw something this morning that I wanted to point out that I absolutely loved. As I was getting ready, standing in my bathroom, I looked out the window and saw a father with his 3 sons. What caught my attention was what the sons were doing. They were doing jumping jacks while the father was at the car over by our clubhouse, which also has a gym. He was having his boys ranging from, I would guess, 8 to 12 doing jumping jacks. And as he was ruffling in the car, I decided to watch to see what he was doing. They finished their jumping jacks, and he had a bundle of stuff in his arms and was walking down the road. He dropped the bundle. Lo and behold, it was running parachutes. He was having his boys, like I said, 8 to 12 years old, 3 of them, doing wind sprints with parachutes down the street. I loved watching this. I loved watching the dad cheer on his sons and push them farther than they knew they could go. It is amazing to see this in real time. This does not happen often. This is an anomaly. But how cool of an anomaly, well, it's kind of a hard one to say, is that to see that example demonstrating, teaching of proper principles, ways to stay fit and healthy and make it fun. He was having one boy chase another boy with parachutes down the street. It was pretty entertaining to watch. But with your mind's eye, can you imagine seeing a parent? Can you imagine seeing yourself pushing your kids in fitness? Jumping jacks, push-ups, jump rope, sandbags, parachutes, burpees, whatever it is. How often are you pushing your children to be the best physical specimen they can possibly be? We live in the pandemic or epidemic for that matter, of obesity. We went to a water park this last weekend, and it was really sad to see how many morbidly obese people there were, especially the kids. That is entirely on the parents. I've known kids to be very out of shape, and I tell the parents, what are you doing? Why aren't you feeding them healthier foods? And they say, well, they won't eat them. And my immediate response every time is, if you don't give them an option, they will eat it. And if they don't want to eat it right now, they will eventually eat it because they will get hungry and there is food there. We do this with my sons all the time. We do not offer the treats and the sweets all the time. Yes, they do have them. They're kids. And they have fun with it, and so do I. I don't strictly put them on carrots, broccoli, celery, chicken, and rice full time. They do have fruit snacks and different treats, but they're healthier options in those categories. How important it is for you to make your health decisions of your children until they are old enough to do so for themselves is imperative to their being healthy throughout their life. Teach them proper principles and let them govern themselves. But until they have the ability and cognitive strength to govern themselves, that is on you. Teaching them proper principles all along the way. We tell my 4, almost 5-year-old all the time to eat this because it helps build strong bones, strong muscles, strong bodies, strong minds. We've been doing that since he was born. We do that with our 2.5-year-old. Encouraging healthy options. Encouraging a lifestyle of fitness and strength. They both love working out. They both love lifting weights. Like I said, we went to Idaho this last weekend. And while there, my father-in-law and mother-in-law have a gym in their house that they're building out. And every day, every morning, the boys walked up, grabbed their weights, and started lifting them. Playing with them mostly, but lifting them. They were doing shoulder presses and curls and just playing with the weights. How often do you just play with fitness? Have fun with it. Don't make it a checkbox to be done or slavery. Have fun. So on to the actual topic of today. That was a fun side tangent that I got to see this morning. Family is of the utmost importance. We went up to Idaho for a little late Father's Day gift to surprise my father-in-law, and surprise him we did. I parked at the end of the street, let Michaela and the boys out, and they ran down the street so they were not tipped off by the Jeep. And funny enough, he was getting something out of his work van. They were hiding behind the truck. So he came around the truck and they jumped out at him. And they definitely got him. Super funny, all on video. And then we proceeded to spend the weekend with them. Playing with them, hanging out with them, eating with them. And just spending time. It is so important because you're not guaranteed another second. You're not guaranteed this next minute of life. I have had friends that have keeled over dead from pulmonary embolisms because they ate too much red meat. He was a cyclist. He was a spin instructor for 17 years. 3 days a week, he's taught spin. He rode Century bike rides all the time. He rode his bike to work constantly, which is about 30 miles each way. Yet he still fell over and died. You are not guaranteed the next few minutes of life. What you do with right now matters, and who you make as a priority matters. We were watching a TV show, and in this TV show, this doctor is swallowed up by his research, by his work. This isn't a world where it's post-virus apocalyptic, and it's 10 years after a massive virus broke out and killed 98% of the population. And he's working on a cure, and he's so close, while his wife is sick with the virus, trying to get this cure to save his wife. In doing so, he neglected the fact that he was in the research lab the whole time and never with his wife. And the time he was with his wife, he was only ever talking about research. He was never with her, spending time with her. It is such a keen reminder of what is most important gets the most attention. Let me say that again. What is of the most importance gets the most attention. I didn't say gets the most time. It gets the most attention. What are you thinking about when you're with your spouse, your family, your kids? What are you talking about? What are you growing towards? Are you building experiences and core memories and lasting memories for them and for yourself? Or are you only talking about money, business, work, the things that are actually taking priority in your life right now? This reorganization of what is of the utmost importance needs to be redone on a continual basis. I am definitely guilty of talking about work when I'm with my family. And to some degree, it's important. My wife is a part of my work. We do this together. In fact, we're 50-50 partners in it. How that appears is a little bit different. I'm doing all the physical work in the business while she's doing all the physical work at home to make sure I can. We are 50-50 partners. Legally 50-50 partners. We own the business at a 50-50 share. It is amazing what happens when you turn your attention to the things that matter most. So often, and it's so sad, I hear people say, I'm in the office 7 to 10 or whatever their absurd hours are. Not a 9 to 5, right? It's not what we do. In the office for copious amounts of the day. For you. I'm doing this for you. If you're doing it for them, why don't you be with them? There is a key distinction on working long hours periodically and working long hours all the time. which is an escape from your reality. Trying to build a reality that will probably never come. Take a step back. Stop focusing on the tree and look at the forest. Look at the beauty that is all around you and the opportunities that you have. There was once a time where I was working 10, 12, 14 hours a day, if not more. There were sometimes definitely 20-hour days in there, when I was an executive. And I knew that was not the life I wanted, but I did not know how to get out. I did not know how to do anything different. That's all I'd ever known. So I had to take a leap. I had to leave. And that was the best decision I could have ever made for me and my family. I'm closer to my wife and my kids than I have ever been. I am growing closer every day, which is an intentional thing. There will never be a stop to where I can grow as close as I possibly can for as long as I can. It came by way of intention and a decision of, I am not doing this anymore, being in the laboratory, that is, for absurd amounts of time. I didn't know how to go where I was going. I just started walking. And then I found the right people to get me there. I reference all the time who, not how. I knew where I was going. I just did not know the path to get there. And I'm still figuring that out. I figure I will figure that out for the rest of my life. But it is a cool experience to jump out and watch the hand of God lead us down the path of the sight unseen. How important it is to take those leaps. When something is on your mind, it's probably pretty important. Get it done. Figure it out. Get moving. Find the who, not the how. Your thoughts precede your actions. I say this so often because it is so true. And your actions precede your opportunities. Because I had the thoughts of leaving and starting a new life, a life that I did not know what that looked like, I took action and I left. And because of that action, I am where I am today, building what I believe to be the frontier of a new generation of income streams and money making. Artificial intelligence mixed with financial technologies. We are in that space now, and we are almost done with our project. Hopefully, as of the recording of this episode, this week. How amazing it is, and I'm grateful for the man that had the thought and took the leap. I'm grateful for that man and for the strength that he had to do what he did. Your thoughts precede your actions, and your actions precede your opportunities. Where you focus, you truly do find. I focus on abundance. I focus on play. That is all I see. And with that, I leave you to have these conversations with your friend and your family. Friends and your family. My mouth has not been keeping up with my brain today. I'm grateful for you. Leave me a review. Leave me a post. Leave me a comment. Apple, Spotify, iHeartMedia, Amazon. Wherever you listen to this. You can find me on social media. Mr. Brad Draper. Like this thing. Subscribe to it. Download it for future listenings. Until next week, I love you guys. Bye.